So do you feel like Mickey, would you say that he had PTSD when he came out, or would you?
Yeah, I would say so, and I would say there was, before PTSD, which I thought was really interesting when we started getting him back, and when you start to look at the animal and he starts to decompress and he's slowing things down, he still is holding on to this ball, right? He's using it really for comfort. It's his comfort zone. I just can see it in his face. His ears go back. It's still, it's just this comfort. So there's no point in me constantly asking for it at this point, right? Like there's just no real point for it. And what I realized is that the PTSD is really the conflict between him and I. And it's because I'm always taking away that comfort in a really stressful environment, right? And I came to that conclusion one day when I watched the dog interact with my wife. And a complete different demeanor, very different, very relaxed, very soft. And I realized, unfortunately, that I'm the problem. And it's not his fault, but I can be associated now, my tone, right? Like associated with certain things that might trigger those responses from him. So realizing that was a big step in helping him out with what I consider that's part of his PTSD is there's that conflict of, hey, for the past like 7 years, someone's always taking my stuff from me, right? So here it's, hey man, cool. We don't care. Here's 40 of them, like
Yeah.
who cares? Who cares, man? Like no one cares about it. We don't want it. And it's starting to work. Like it's slowly, he's just starting to let this thing go. Hey, the dog comes and we'll sniff, and then we lose the dog and he goes back to the ball, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was one that I really identified as kind of like unique, I guess, because there's still, I guess, when people think PTSD, yes, when the thunder comes in and he's sleeping in his pen, all of a sudden he starts marfing because it's a loud bang and it startled him, I'm sure, right? We get, near boats and water, you can kind of see the nails go into the ground, like he's looking to get on the boat. He's looking to, things like that. I can kind of see just kind of runs through doorways, just kind of the small little things that are like, man, that's still part of the conditioning, right? Like that's not him being a dog. That's part of the conditioning. So, yeah, for the most part, it's he's working through it really well. I think getting on the road and promoting for the Warrior Dog Foundation is like he's literally smiling when we take him in. He can just go get pet, and the body language is there. He leans into whoever he's getting pet by, and just, wants more of it. And I'm like, man, this dog's really happy doing this, and that's why we're so thankful and able to do it, because it's not only great for us to give us great purpose, give back to these dogs that are in similar situations to Mickey, but for him to have purpose, and I know that's going to make him live longer. Watching him, him having purpose and not lose that. And I've seen that in a couple of dogs that I've had. I've retired when I was running the kennel. Like they get home and become couch dogs, and then the guys are like, "Hey man, like he's just not, he's not super. We're only like 7 or 8. He's not really moving much." I'm like, well, is he doing anything that resembles what he might have been doing in the past? Like, is he, have you tried just taking a handful of food and throwing it in the driveway and letting them just hunt for that? Like little games like that to keep them engaged. So along with PTSD, I also don't want them to fade away because of the lack of purpose either, right? So I think they go one in the hand. So we get them out, we get them rehabilitated, we get them back to where they can be good model citizens for four-legged heroes everywhere. And then we try to give them some purpose with their new handlers, with the word dog. Like, let's make sure that's an active, someone who wants to get active with this dog, be engaged with the dog. And that's, another reason why the home and handlers, I think, is just an absolute amazing extension of what the mission already is, because you keep that bond. You're getting the active person that with that dog in a stressful environment and knows that dog very well. So,
Yeah.
PTSD and kind of conditioning. Yeah.
Yeah, to be able to reunite them must be amazing to.
Yeah. It's really cool when you get to see it and watch it, and that the dog's safe and everyone and the dog is comfortable. That's really good, and the handler owner is going to be comfortable, and that bleeds right down the leash. So you can see that when we drop these kennels off, and just that sigh of relief people have of like, okay, this is good, and this is good, and we're not alone, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the feeling that you kind of feel in some of the cases you get is like, This dog did everything it was asked to do. It did it at a very high level. Um, yeah, sure, it needs some special attention, but so did I when I got out, and I received it. So where can we help him or her at, right? So for their transition, and that's what the Warrior Dog does. Really does fill the gap and bridge that for all sorts of dogs that just needed that second chance or just that little bit of decompression.
Right. And how often does this happen where you're able to reunite dogs?
Well, since my short time, I've been on board about 12 months now, and I would say we've done 3 of the kennels, which has been amazing. One to another NSW dog, East Coast dog. Actually, I had the pleasure of working with as well, and he was an absolute monster. So home handlers right now, I think I'm on 3. I'm tracking 3, and then as far as getting dogs from the ranch in Texas into their forever home, that's an ongoing process. And I'll tell you what, I know that we work our hardest to get as many dogs out of our facility as possible. But the wait list is just kind of growing on us, and we are looking for very unique and special people and very specific situations to be able to bring these dogs home too. So not as often as I like is what I guess the answer is. Not as often as I would like. I would like if I could clear the kennel out. If I could get all 30 dogs out of our and rotate every 30 days. Hey, it's a 30-day get well plan, and we're going to get you in and out of here. It's just some dogs need a little bit more time, and unfortunately, some dogs just don't ever get that chance to turn around. And that's the beautiful thing about what Mike has out in Texas is that they can live a comfortable, happy life for the rest of their days. So that's what drew me to the whole thing. And again, not as many dogs as I would like. We don't get to get as many out, but we do our best.
Yeah, and I did just launch this book, and it felt to me to start this out launching with 50% of all purchases of this book in any format. It's going to be e-book and print, will go to the Warrior Dog Foundation for at least, I'm setting up 30 days, but at least 30 days. It's Misha's Heart Adventure, and it's about emotional regulation while learning how animals think and feel. I don't talk, it's all about really understanding animals and kids having an opportunity to learn a little bit about how to do some dealing with big feelings in healthy ways.
That's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
And we just want you guys to jump in there and help out. Maybe I'll have a QR code up here. I'll definitely have a link in the description at the very least. And you can go there and get this book, and 50% of all proceeds will go to the Warrior Dog Foundation. So it's absolutely, this is my pleasure. I'm honored to be able to do that. And I've had family in the military too who have gone through a lot. So I'm very happy to be able to do this. And also there's a music that goes with it that kids might enjoy as well. I have that on my website, so I'll have information about that in the description.
Rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly. I like my